Why not?
So if you've been on social media for a while following left-wing creators, there's a pretty good chance you've come across a video of a left-wing creator stitching this absolute idiot douche that goes by the older millennial. I don't know how many times I've seen Good Trouble or Harry Sisson absolutely debunk the things he says on his channel. This guy has amassed millions of followers on social media, and the Maga see him as a leader. They think he's honest. It's crazy because when you think about the people who are leading the Maga movement, you have to look at them and think, as dumb as they are, the people under them are dumber. Like imagine going to an important meeting for some type of business adventure and realizing that someone like Jake Lang and the older millennial are leading it. Are you serious right now? So recently, the older millennial posted a video where he gives us all the goods. He knows even before Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump that it was Iran who were responsible for the Tomahawk missile that hit the girls' school.
And now we have video confirmation that the missile that hit the school was Iranian. You see where it launched from? Just right down the fucking street. You know, where the military base is. You know, where the IRGC has missile launchers. I mean, for fuck's sake, we could see where it was shot from. This is deep in Iran. They shot a missile from their base and we jammed it. It then tailed over here and hit the school, which is what we already told you happened. But you didn't want to believe that. No, you wanted to believe that for some reason we have the most accurate missiles on the fucking planet in human history, and we chose to hit a school. Like you guys tried to pretend this was a Tomahawk, a missile that is actually capable of turning down the street, and you thought we accidentally hit a school. No, the IRGC fucked up. They shot a missile, it went haywire, it hit the school. Which again is exactly what we told you.
Well, I guess we can all go home now. The older millennial has cracked it. No more investigating to do. This happened 10 days ago. 10 days ago, we bombed a girls' school, and the older millennial has cracked it, and I'm wondering, why hasn't he gotten this foolproof evidence to the Secretary of War? Because 10 days later, this is what we're still getting from Pete Hegseth.
You were asked earlier in the week about this girls' school. You said the U.S. was investigating it. Have you made any conclusions about whether or not the United States, inadvertently or not, was involved in any military strike at that school?
Well, we're still investigating, and that's where I'll leave it today. But what I will emphasize to you and to the world is that unlike our adversaries, the Iranians, we never target civilians.
There was a report late in the week from two officials that it was likely U.S. involvement. Is that report false?
I've already said we're investigating.
If you could tell the American public it definitively was not us, you would tell us, wouldn't you?
I would say that it's being investigated, which is the only answer I'm prepared to give.
But the older millennial already cracked it. Just ask him for the evidence. It's been 10 days, and all Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, has for you is we're still investigating it. And I'm glad Major Garrett asked him exactly what I would have asked him. Hey, if you guys had definitive proof that it was them, wouldn't you be telling us? And Pete Hegseth's like, all I'm doing is still investigating, because they want you to forget about this. They want you to forget that they did it. And it's already been confirmed by several news agencies, except for the older millennial, of course, who's like, it's obvious. I got the evidence right here. But again, if you can't get to Pete Hegseth and let him know, why not let Donald Trump know? Because he's also still saying, I have no idea what happened.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report.
First of all, can the rest of the journalists out there take notes on how you frame and ask a question? The setup, perfect. The question, perfect. Didn't allow Donald Trump to try to go on a weave and give him all types of answers. Actually, probably tripped him up a little bit because he actually had to tell the truth. He was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was just told it was being investigated. And that's funny because he didn't say it was being investigated. He said it was Iran. We don't do that. It was Iran. And then Pete Hegseth was asked, do you agree with that? And he was like, I don't agree with that. We're still investigating. I'm going to go with what we said earlier. We're still investigating. But Donald Trump just sits there and he's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the president of the United States of America right now. 10 days after they bombed the school, they can't tell you if they did it or Iran did it. You think it would take them 10 days to investigate this? Where'd the bomb come from? We have video probably. We know exactly where this came from. It came from us. And anyone out there, like the older millennial or Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, or Donald Trump, the idiot in chief, that is trying to tell you that they don't know or they're still investigating it, they're lying to you. And when he says, I'm willing to live with whatever that report comes out and says, it's because they're going to come out and basically say, we don't care. Because the MAGAs will not care. They've been trying to say, no way we would do this. They've gone from no way we would do this to right when it gets to the point where we say we did it, they're going to say we don't care. And listen, I'm not in the business of liking or thinking Tucker Carlson is a good person. But what he says in this little blurb next is exactly how we should all feel.
Bombing of a girls' school next to an Iranian naval base that was apparently the school of choice for officers at the naval base. These were the children, the daughters of the people we're fighting. You have to believe that was accidental, despite the fact it was hit twice, 40 minutes apart. Looks very much like a double tap, which is to say a bombing and then an attack on the people coming to rescue the injured. But as an American, you have to believe this was a tragic mistake. But we have to verify that, because if you wake up in the morning and you're living in the kind of country that thinks it's okay to kill not simply military officers, but their daughters, that country's not worth fighting for.
Remember when Democrats, led by Senator Mark Kelly, a retired naval officer, made the video telling members of the military that it was okay for them to disobey illegal orders? These were the illegal orders they were talking about. These were the types of illegal orders they were telling them to disobey because they should have. I agree with Tucker Carlson here. I absolutely agree that if you wake up one day and you live in a country where they're saying it is okay to bomb a school full of little girls, that country is not worth fighting for. And it is actually this administration is not worth fighting for. It is illegal. The war is illegal. And bombing that school, those are war crimes. And there's no limit and no longevity that can happen that should keep Donald Trump or Pete Hegseth from being held accountable for what they did. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.